Tonight, I'll have more on the staggering information confronting reality about our energy crisis and the absolute nonsense that we're being fed on renewable energy and the road to net zero by 2050. All the promises and the political blather on this is so divorced from the science, so divorced from the facts. Net zero just can't happen. Not without massive amounts of nuclear energy, not without new technology we don't yet have, and not without eye-watering levels of spending and costs. And tragically for Australian households, there was more evidence of this unveiled today, more evidence of how power price rises are going to make your lives even more difficult, let alone what they'll do for business and employers and our economy. As you know, electricity prices have already increased by 10 to 20% this year, and a lot of us are about to feel the impact of that with our October bills. This is what happens when you disrupt your electricity system dramatically to favour renewables, forcing out huge amounts of cheap coal-fired power, not to mention gas, and limiting the viability of long-term cheap gas contracts for the gas generators. But the bad news today is that this is only going to get worse. As we've been warning on this program for years, it'll get much, much worse. The head of Alinta Energy has told a Sydney Energy Conference today that next year, using the current market prices, tariffs are going to go up a minimum of 35%. 35%. Jeff Dimery said it's horrendous and unpalatable, and he doesn't want consumers getting their bills and setting fire to them. And another executive, Frank Calabria from Origin, talked about similar increases, saying based on current wholesale prices, those order of magnitude sound familiar to him. Just extraordinary this. As I keep saying, this will be the millstone around Labor's neck. This will be their single biggest failure for two reasons. One, because they are pursuing radical climate change policies that are just doubling down on your renewables, and this is going to make all of this a lot worse, not better. And the second reason is because Labor went to the election promising this.
Households will benefit by $275 on average.
Reducing power prices by $275.
That will reduce power prices by $275.
Prices by $275.
$275. $275 a year.
$275.
$275 a year. $275. $275 a year.
What a farce. Promise one thing and we see the opposite. The sooner Peter Dutton and the opposition can come out and formally drop their net zero by 2050 target and pledge instead to deliver reliable, affordable energy, eventually with large chunks probably of zero emissions generation thanks to nuclear. Well, the sooner our economy then will be presented with some hope, and the sooner the coalition will be back in the political game.